Hi, it's Megan. I was one of the lucky people who got the Urban Decay Vice limited edition palette, which came in a box like this. And I was up early that morning. According to the back of the box, this has 20 shades. I think I paid $58, $60. It's no longer on the Sephora website, so I actually can't double check that. And it's not on my Sephora receipt. They say 18 are exclusive and 5 are new. And then there are 2 bestsellers, which are Laced and Perversion, which are mattes. Most of these, some of these are mattes. A lot of them have kind of a real shimmer to them. I'm going to go through this first with like an overview review, so people who just want to know did I like the palette or not and why did I like it or not know that. But then I'm going to go through each of the shades individually and I'm going to swatch them and tell you what I think of them. So first, it comes like this. I heard people saying that it came dirty. Mine didn't. The Vice is limited right here. Is really, really hard to see. It's kind of cute. It says Urban Decay right there. And so this is the old Vice palette style as opposed to the new Vice 3 palette style. So just to compare the Vice 3, I know this is really decadent. It's like this. Very different. There are 2 shades in Vice 3 which are almost the same in my mind as 2 shades in the Vice Limited. So one of them is the coppery one, which is called Heat in Vice Limited and Lucky. And there they are next to each other. I think they're super close, personally. And the others that are super, super close, the Navy Goddess and Heroine. So Goddess is in Vice Limited and Heroine's in Vice 3. They're not identical, but they're really close. The one in Goddess is a little bit lighter, a little bit less dusky, a little bit more shimmery. And then another one's a little bit similar, Vanity in Vice 3, but this is a little bit less similar. And Freak Show in Vice Limited. You can see those are a lot more different, but they're kind of in the same vein. So anyway, let me compare the 2 on camera. There's this Vice Limited and Vice 3. And I did a separate review for Vice 3, so we are done with Vice 3 for this particular video. And we're just going to go on to this right here. And it has the little Urban Decay brush. I actually like the Urban Decay brushes. I like the fact that they're a little bit harder. I find it's easier to apply the shadows that way for me. And it's a small one, and then a blending brush. And I actually do need the blending brush with a lot of these shadows because they tend to be more pigmented. I called Urban Decay to try to find out which of the 5 new shades. Did not get an answer. They were talking about how limited this was. I just didn't seem to have a good description of it, and they didn't sell it, so their customer service wasn't so great about getting an answer. I never got one. But I did find a list on Sephora where somebody had actually done the research to figure out if they could find these shades. So I don't know if this is accurate, but this, I'm going to refer to what they said because I think it's really useful. I wish I knew who it was and I could give them a name, but I don't. So anyway, overall what I thought, first of all, if you look at this palette, what I complained about with the Vice 3 was that, like most palettes, there weren't enough really light base shades, and for me to get a complete look, it's really hard when there's like 1 or 2 super light shades. I have to supplement with other things, which when I have 20 shadows seems kind of stupid, but it seems like most palettes are like that. I think people are attracted to like the new unusual bright colors, and bone and white and whatever just isn't as exciting. This palette, a friend of mine kind of pointed out, and I agree, reminds me a lot of the NARS dual intensity shadows that were introduced earlier this year, and that a lot of the lighter shades have this like duochrome, this shift of color, this really neat shimmer that like it looks one color in the pan, and then when I apply it, it's a little bit off and just really pretty. This one also had more, so it had more lighter shades than most of the other Vice palettes, which I like, but not everybody will. And it also had more actual glitter. I feel like Urban Decay and their palettes have been getting away from the visible chunks of glitter. They've had a lot of shimmers and metallic stuff, but not a lot of glitter. There is more glitter in this palette than I've seen in, I don't know, I guess most of the Vice palettes. So the Vicing concept is basically, in my opinion, there's like a bunch of neutralish shadows that have an edge to them. They're a little bit more interesting. And then there is color. And This particular palette I think is cooler toned. It's still kind of got a lot of warm shades in it. It's a little bit cooler toned than the Vice 3 or the Vice 2. So we'll go through it one by one. So these are them again. And so I'm just going to go through each shadow. So what do I think? I think it's a really great palette. I love it. I love it because of all the light shades and how interesting a lot of these shadows are. And I really like the Urban Decay formula. This to me felt like the normal formula. You could feel little bits of chunks of glitter in a couple of the shades, and one of the shades I actually didn't like, and I'll tell you when I get to that. But overall, I really like the mix of warm and cool. I like the mix of matte, neutral, shimmery, and then also some color. I just think it's a fun palette to play with. And when I first saw it, I didn't really have a lot of ideas with what to do color-wise to get looks. But as I started playing with it, some of them are actually a lot more pigmented on than they look in the pan, and they look really pretty together. Like I wouldn't have expected Deeper, which is like a medium bronze, is absolutely gorgeous with heat in the outer corner. Like that's just, I wouldn't have put those two together. When I started playing around, they were really pretty together. So I really love it. But people who hate shimmer or outright glitter or color are gonna hate it. So the first one, Nameless. This is a medium taupe satin. And according to someone on Sephora, this was in the shattered face case. Right there, Nameless. There's a swatch. You can see they swatch beautifully. I'm just swiping once with my finger and then once in the pan. Just, I don't need better. The next one is Backdoor, a medium dark brown matte. And this one is a true matte. But it is a little bit cooler of a brown. So I would say this one's like a neutral to cool, and this is a cool. The next one is Deeper, a metallic medium bronze. So anyway, Backdoor was supposedly in Smoked. And then Deeper was supposedly in 15th anniversary palette. And when I did call Urban Decay, they said first all were new, and then they said these were limited versus new, and I don't know. Can't figure it out. So this is Deeper on my finger. It's a really deep, dark. It's a great crease color, but surprisingly, it blends beautifully, and it really looks pretty on the inner center of the eye. But again, this is cooler. It's a little bit warmer than the other two, but it's still cooler. Okay, the next shade I don't like. This one might be new. Someone knows where it came from. Disco, a pale metallic gold with iridescent glitter. This feels chunky in the pan, and it applies, it's like a cooler gold. I don't know if you can see it. And I got Fallout with this one, and I got Visible glitter. It's a pretty color. There's a lot of glitter in this particular shade. More than, I guess Disco is a good name, more than I personally like. Heat, bright metallic copper. They say this is discontinued from a previous line. I love how Urban Decay does these coppers. I just think they're so pretty. And since it is a little bit metallic, it is a little bit cooler than most coppers are. But I love this. Love it. But I love copper. It's great also to line your eye. It's a great color as a liner. Really opens up the eyes. Crystal. So I'm going to just show you that top row again. So these are kind of the more neutral. And then we're going to go to the next row, which are cooler tones. Crystal, I love this. So this I have on. This, I always describe it, so icy metallic blue shimmer. I always describe these as like ghost kind of colors. Just look at how it just changes. It has like this purplish blue undertone. And this I put right under my eyebrow. And on me it really, I think, opens up and brightens my eyes. But it's definitely a cool, icy look. But really pretty. And that is supposedly from Book of Shadows 4. Goddess. Discontinued from a previous line. It's a deep smoky blue with micro glitter. This one I can actually feel a little glitter in the formula, but I don't see the glitter on. It's kind of weird. But it applies. You see how smoothly it applies. And this again is, it's a little bit less navy, a little bit more sapphire than the blue in Vice 3. Really pretty. With a little, you can see little bits of like this icy blue shimmer in it. Barely. Vaporize, a medium metallic gray taupe. This is from the Anarchy face case. I actually like the Anarchy face case. I love this shade. So it's definitely kind of a smoky gray. It almost has like a, I don't know, I didn't see that before, but it almost has an undertone to it, which I didn't notice. I was wearing it earlier today, then I just put it on again. I put this on the lid, almost like maybe a purplish undertone, a bluish undertone. I put that on the lid, but I blended in some other colors after. I love these kind of colors. I just think that for blue eyes, sorry for blue eyes though, this is just a perfect color. Floss, Deep metallic emerald with micro glitter. This is also unknown. This is maybe new. And I did call Urban Decay, but they did not give me an answer. It's a really deep, dark emerald. And it has these like really little tiny, you can almost see these little flecks of shimmer, not glitter, but shimmer in it. It's actually, I'm staring at it, it's a really complex, beautiful shade. I almost wore this one. This one's really pretty with a lot of the golds or the coppers in this particular palette. The contrast is just gorgeous. Really pretty. Okay, Perversion, this is a bestseller. This is a matte. And this one is a true matte. I feel like occasionally Perversion has little bits of glitter. I'm not seeing glitter in this one. So it's just a black charcoal. It's not the blackest black in my opinion, like the liner, but I did this just on in the lash line a little bit. Provocateur. This is from the Anarchy Face Case in Vice 1. Icy metallic pink with micro glitter. And this one definitely is glittery. I don't have fallout problems with this one though. But I could see where it's a very cool, almost a champagne pink. No, it's not champagne pink. I always say that because pinker than champagne. But almost a pink champagne. I really like this color actually in the inner corner of my eye. It's really pretty. And you can also use this one as a highlighter. Hoodoo, a medium metallic violet pink shift. This is so pretty. This is also unknown where this comes from. And this kind of shade just shifts color a little bit. Again, it's one of my little ghostly kind of shades where it's got that cool lavender, but then it kind of gets this glistening pink to it. And I just dotted a little bit of that in the outer corner and right down here a little bit. Since I had this otherworldly like pink, purple, shift blue thing going on, I figured I'd add that into the gray. Then, Freak Show. This was supposed to be in the feminine palette. And discontinued line, fun palette, I'm sorry, not feminine, fun. And they call it a deep purple satin. And this is just a really great color. I don't know, I don't get excited. Urban Decay does a lot of colors like this. This again has a little bit of a shifting going on in colors. Kind of like a pink lavender thing going on. It's really pretty. I don't know, I don't get as excited about this as I do about Hoodoo. Just me personally. But it's a gorgeous, gorgeous color. And you can do some really beautiful grays and purples and stuff here. Junk Show. Is that what it's called? Junk Show. This is a bright pink, really a bright fuchsia satin. Oh, I don't know, pink satin. And it shifts a little color-wise, but it's just a great, what I was playing around with this one earlier actually, is I did this as a lower liner mixed in with gray, because I was trying to figure out, I was just playing with it and trying to figure out what to put in the video. And that was really pretty. The pinks with the grays and the browns mix really beautifully, and this gives you a lot of options for that. Next is Blitz. And this looks really yellow in the pan, but it is, so I didn't say, did I say? Freak Show is, I did. Okay, Junk Show, bright pink satin from, Blitz. Bright metallic gold from Vice 1. So for those who missed out on Vice 1, there's a bunch of Vice 1 shades here. And this is like a yellow gold. I don't know, I would almost say it's a little bit warmer tone than some of the others, but because it's got that metallic glint on me, it's going to end up looking a little bit cooler, personally. So let's go through that line again. Those were more like purples with just a gold yellow thrown in. But remember, purple and yellow actually work really well together because they contrast each other. Okay, Chase, soft metallic brown, this soft metallic bronze. This is current permanent line. I'm not sure. And this is a really rich, beautiful gold. This is a stunning color. This with purples or the browns, just really gorgeous. I love this one. Last Sin. This is a pale champagne shimmer, Vice 3. So here's, my champagne. I always think champagne's a little bit pinker than it ends up being. And this is like it's got like a peachy thing, which makes it a bit warmer, but because it's so metallic and frosty, this one is actually almost frosty. It looks a lot cooler toned. This right here is great for, again, right under the eyebrows. I also like to use this type of shade to line my under eye, under my lower lashes, and then in the inner crease. It really opens up my eyes. And you can also use it as a highlighter. Road Stripe. Okay, so I'm just going to show you. Road Stripe. It looks white. Sort of. This I did put on my inner corner of my eyes. I don't know if you can see it that well. It is amazing. It is an iridescent white, kind of like a blue violet thing going on. It's so pretty in the light. That's why I like to do outside swatches, even though they're not perfect looking. And I put this in the inner corner of my eye. It just shows some of the colors sometimes better. And that's from the discontinued line, Anonymous from Vice 1. I really like Vice 1, so this is kind of nice. If you miss Vice 1, you get some of the shades. Although they had to go and make this limited edition, right? Pale Peach Creamy Matte. These are the type of perfect colors that I love having in palettes, because this one is a little warmer tone. It does have that peach undertone. You're not going to see it so much because it's almost my skin color. But that, again, it just kind of evens out when you have darker colors. This is a great palette, actually, I think, to supplement Vice 3. Strangely enough, right? Laced, a soft pink nude matte. This is Vice 1, Permanent Line. This is one of the best sellers. And this, again, is just like, it's not going to swatch very well, but this is the kind of thing that looks really pretty. If you want just a natural look, you take Anonymous, put it under here, take Laced, put it on the lid and in the crease, and then take, I don't know, if you want to darken it up, take one of the darker browns. So I had on Vaporize the Gray, Crystal, kind of this ghostly color, Wood Road Stripe right in the corner here, a little bit of Perversion, and then I put a little bit of Hoodoo in the outer corner and right under the eye. So I have a cool eye look on. That is it. I'm going to stop talking because this video is going to be too long because of all the colors, but if you wanted to see the palette, this is it, and I do like it. It's maybe going to be back right before Christmas again. No one knows for sure, and many have asked. Thanks, and please subscribe on YouTube.